Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rum and Regret podcast. I am Andy Drake.
Johanna Myers.
Nate Tussey, and we drink and we know things.
That's right. We drink and we know things, and we are going to talk, Joe, try to keep it together, the Rise of Skywalker.
Happy New Year, fuckers.
And Happy New Year's, yeah.
Your first podcast of the new year.
Yeah, first of many.
2020.
Twin.
Rummer. There's no way to finish that responsibly.
No. Nope.
Yeah, Joe, just in honor of you and in honor of the podcast, I switched around my phone a little bit. So before Andy sends me this, I hacked this, and let me know if you want to do this with yours.
Oh, what?
And you can do Kylo's sound too. And then go ahead and send me a text, Andy.
Okay.
I'll show you the dark side.
R.I.P. Spoiler alert.
Too soon.
We're going to spoil the fuck out of
Literally
this
too
movie.
Yeah. So this is literally fresh off of Joe's mind. So she just saw it this afternoon. Nate and I have had some time to process. If we can, and Joe, if you're emotionally able to, we're going to rate it 1 out of 10. Nate, what would you give it?
Can we do the ratings at the end of our discussion? Or maybe we do a pre-discussion rating and a post?
We can do that.
I like the fact that a lot of, when we talk through it, we bring up a lot of things and that might influence the rating. So
I'm still not going to hate The Last Jedi, Nate. Sorry.
The Last Jedi sucks objectively, so you choose to live in there if you want. Let's see. Pre-discussion rating. I don't know. Kind of 7.
I'm not sure.
Shut up, Alexa.
Okay, 7.
Also wants to rate it too.
Yeah, I'd
She has
say
an opinion.
it's definitely better than The Last Jedi, but it's not great. It's good. So maybe a 7.5, 8 at the most.
Okay.
Right. Has some great fan service, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm in the 6.5 range for Rise of Skywalker. Let me amend this. So let's go back and let's say that we didn't know anything behind the making of this movie, right? We didn't know sort of all the drama that went in with the first director getting thrown out, the script getting changed at the last minute. So if I didn't know anything about that, I would give it a 6.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that
didn't actually occur to me while I was watching it. I was.
Yeah, and I took it in. I took it in just sort of as its own when I watched it, and I go to movies, I want to be entertained. Like, I don't want to think about the stuff behind it. When it comes to Star Wars, though, somebody's gonna bring up something around it, that's gonna set other people off.
Yep.
It is the nature of Star Wars, right?
Well, it's just the nature of this. Anything past the original trilogy of Star Wars.
Exactly. Just because.
Yeah,
it's become more saturated, and we get news as it happens now, and so we know way too much about a certain movie element, whatever, that we should know, that we as consumers should know. So anyway, if I didn't know anything about it, I would give it an 8. So
that tracks.
Yeah.
Tracks.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't I can't really give it a number rating, but I will say this. I went into it with a very British stiff upper lip. I was expecting to not be happy.
Did you get spoiled?
I got spoiled big time. I basically knew everything going into
it. Fucking Joe. God damn it.
So,
seriously?
Yeah, and I'm actually glad because...
Oh, I hate you so much right now.
Yeah, I knew everything.
Yes.
But I was actually still surprised. So to take that back, I didn't know everything, but I knew the major plot points. I was surprised. I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to.
You have to give it a number because I had to do it, and so did Andy.
It just
Throw one against the wall.
Yeah.
like a 6, 7. I mean,
Good. Okay.
I went and saw it with a very dear friend of mine, one of my oldest friends, who's like as big a Star Wars nerd as all of us are. And we had the theater completely to ourselves.
You
There
should
was
have brought her. That would have been fun.
nobody in the theater. And so like afterwards we were talking about it, and it was like, how do you judge it? And it's like, okay, well, what'd you think of it just based solely on the 3 movies? Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker. Where do you place it? And for me, it's 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
No.
Hers was 2, 3, 1.
Ah! I'm glad you didn't bring her.
That's interesting. Okay.
God. I take back everything nice I said. Sorry, I know you probably might listen to this. What's her name?
Yeah, Ashley.
Ashley, I kind of apologize.
No, that's and that and I know a couple people that love The Last Jedi that absolutely think it's the definitive movie of the entire Skywalker saga.
Yeah, that's why he directed more than one movie.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, Andy, it's funny you bring up all the trials and tribulations of this movie, because I honestly forgot about all that.
Yeah. And I didn't think about it either until I saw the movie, and then until I watched the Emergency Awesome sort of breakdown of it.
Oh yeah, his stuff is great.
Yeah, and we love Charlie. Man, I don't know, he's really great. His breakdown of the Mandalorian episodes was fantastic. Anyway,
Right.
Yeah. So what happened was it was Chris Terrio who was originally brought in to direct.
I think so.
And they fired him after a couple months. The movie was already in pre-production at that point, so they bring JJ back in. There are some script rewrites at that point. And again, you have a main character die on you as well, right? Yeah.
Which main character?
Obviously, Carrie.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
Come
For
on.
the love of Christ, Nate.
No.
I'm not solely Kylo Ren minded, all right?
I was.
I know there are other
I was
characters in the
thinking
movie.
about Kylo Ren, and that was for your benefit. I wasn't thinking about Carrie.
And so there's, and again, you're dealing with coming off a very highly divisive movie of the fan base. I don't know that anybody kind of likes Last Jedi. You either love it or you hate it. So yeah, and so
that's what it is.
I think there are a couple people. I'm not in this camp. Well, maybe I am in this camp now. I hate what it is in the trilogy and what it did to everything JJ set up in the first one and everything it did to shit on the canon. But as a standalone movie, there are some good moments in it. And I have watched it more than once.
As have I. Yeah.
When I have nothing else to watch and I'm half asleep. But
see, and I kind of feel like Skywalker did the same thing with everything that Rian Johnson set up in The Last Jedi.
Well, it didn't do it with everything. It did it with some things because Rian Johnson said, "Fuck your story, JJ. I'm doing my own thing." And JJ went, "Guess who's back in the saddle now, bitch?" and corrected some of the horrible gaffes that Ryan.
Yeah, but he made some other gaps now too.
Well, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that's wrong with this movie. Nobody's saying that.
Yeah. So, so my overarching point to this is that, everybody loves the first trilogy, episodes 4, 5, and 6, because it's a singular voice telling that story. Yep. He wrote out the entire story beforehand, tried to get the movie made, realized it was going to take more than one movie, made the one movie in hopes that it would get, that it would make enough money for him to make the next 2 movies, right? If you guys get a chance, watch Empire of Dreams on Amazon Prime. Yeah, fantastic. It is basically the story of how Star Wars got made. And Lucas is so I mean, he's just so transparent in it. But I mean, he's been transparent in most interviews. But to my point, one singular voice telling that story. Even the prequels had a more definitive storyline than this final trilogy.
Oh yeah, the final trilogy, if it didn't do anything for Star Wars, it made the prequels look better.
Absolutely. Right. Yeah. And that's where unfortunately I think Disney failed in this, is not having a clear vision for the trilogy. You know? And saying, we're going to start here, we're going to end here.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they had, let's just say for sake of argument, if they had JJ run the whole thing.
Yeah.
All right, JJ, you've got 3 movies. Here's your budget.
Tell your story.
Yeah, give us your story, and we'll figure out how we're going to let you tell this thing. Because obviously Disney had a huge hand in this, and obviously they fucked up a lot of it. From what I've heard, there's so much extra stuff that was cut out of this last movie. It would have changed a lot.
Yeah.
And this movie, I think originally was supposed to be 3 hours and 3 minutes, and it was like 2:35.
Yeah.
So,
right.
And there's a lot of stuff in this movie, specifically this movie, that is so fast. Like, there's so many pacing issues at the beginning, and it's kind of like Ready Player One, where you have this amazing broad story book, and they're like, all right, we got to get it all done. All right, let's get it all done. This is the thing, and
wrap it up.
Yeah, wrap it up box kind of situation. But I think if they had given JJ or X director the just the range to have the trilogy and be able to plan it out long form, tell it like the Mandalorian or like a season of TV almost.
Like I was gonna say, they've proven they could do it with the Mandalorian.
Yeah, for sure. And I think
that's amazing.
They probably would have made some better choices. Like they probably would have made Snoke to be more like a Count Dooku and introduce the Emperor in the first movie instead of it being at the end and being super clunky. But was the Emperor in the movie...
Or McClunky,
exactly. Was the Emperor in the movie at all as a retaliation to Rain Johnson killing off Snoke, or was that always the plan to bring him in? Like, there are so many questions that I need answered right now.
I think you could have brought in... You even could have brought in Palpatine better than they did.
Oh, of course. Yeah, it was so heavy-handed.
Well, and I mean, so now, don't they... I mean, isn't his sort of involvement literally out of Overwatch? The video game?
I don't get the reference.
Oh, so the opening crawl, right, references a message that goes out to the galaxy, right, by Emperor Palpatine. And that's what sets Kylo Ren in motion, right, to find him, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, that message was broadcast in Overwatch.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that.
So anyway,
I'm so
yeah. Okay. So anyway, but I just think like after Kylo got his hand handed to him in Last Jedi, right, by Luke, in that little, his little faux fight with Luke right there, I thought it would have been better to have him, sort of like go into like deep meditation for guidance. And then if he goes into that deep meditation, Palpatine can answer it. And then through some series of events, he sort of accidentally, or Palpatine gets him to, reanimate him to that level. And then it would have been a much better, I think, redemption story for Kylo Ren if he says, okay, I need help, I need guidance. Who else is out there, right? I'm not looking for good here, I'm looking for bad. He, in his sort of meditation.
He's got a looking for group out, and the filter is evil only.
Right, exactly, yeah.
21.
Yeah. Looking for Sith only. Check.
That's hilarious. Oh my god.
And then brings him back, but then realizes what he's done, and that's his arc to redemption.
Yeah.
And I think if they had done, as much as I hate to say this, they should have done like the Harry Potter 2 movies to end it kind of situation, because this could have been 2 movies if they had paced it properly and set it up the right way. Instead, it just felt super rushed and very fan servicey and ham-handed, which is, it ended up being Star Wars, the new version of Star Wars, the current trilogy. it kind of fit into that trilogy pretty well, unfortunately. But
and that's the thing. It seems like to me that Disney felt that the trilogy had already gone off the rails at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
That they're just like, you know what? Let's put it out. Let's just finish it, and we'll sort of restart from there.
Yeah, let's make our couple billion,
Yeah.
and we'll use that to fund the Knights of the Old Republic trilogy, which is their next foray, apparently.
Well, yeah, I don't. Who knows if that they've been talking about a Knights of the Old Republic movie forever.
Right, but not forever since Disney has owned it.
Yeah, I know, but I think that's crap.
Yeah.
I don't know,
well,
man.
Also, since they're making hand over fist with the Mandalorian.
Well, yeah, but Disney at the heart of it, Disney is a company to make money. They're going to put out a Star Wars movie every year starting in 2022, according to rumor. So
well, they tried that already and failed.
Well, right, under Kathleen Kennedy and some really bad decisions. And I've also heard that they're trying to talk to Lucas maybe coming back to run it, or Favreau even replacing Kathleen Kennedy with the success he's had with Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's way too premature to do that with him. But George Lucas coming back in the picture, can you imagine if George Lucas was money driven at all? He is miserable because of how much money Disney has made off of his IP.
Yeah.
After he sold it for what, $3 billion, $4 billion, maybe, I think total. They made a fucking $12 billion in the last 2 years on Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens moving forward, but the only way they're going to be able to put out movies at that rate is if they have a trilogy in the hopper and they do these alternate stories every other year and do it that way. And you're right, they stumbled and failed with Solo because nobody gives a fuck about Han's origin story, or at least not in that way.
No.
It would have been cool to see, but you can't make a movie that ruins what has happened already, which is what they did with actually the Rise of Skywalker. It completely destroys Anakin Skywalker's sacrifice at the end of Return of the Jedi, or in Return of the Jedi when he kills the Emperor. It completely because guess what? He's back. Fuck
yeah, that's true.
And that's Solo too. It's like Solo's redemption in the first movie is that I'm fucking here for the money. I don't care about your revolution, sweetheart. And then he comes back and saves the day.
Yeah.
Solo, he does the same fucking thing before that.
Right.
So, God damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was another thing too, is that I heard that beforehand, there is a sort of like a Star Wars canon group that makes sure that everything that they consider canon, they're on.
They weren't involved, right?
They were not involved with Rise of Skywalker, which makes perfect sense, but it's like at that point, why completely, like, if you use that up to this point,
right?
Why stop it there?
Well, because of the rewrites and everything, right? They didn't have time. It has to be a time issue. There's no way they would do that.
Well, like, one of the things that, like, we noticed watching it that was kind of a canon kind of slap in the face for us is the whole, like, Emperor scene with, and spoilers, duh.
Yes.
Like, he's got the apparatus and he's hanging there and he's like, and all of a sudden there's a whole big arena of Sith, and it's like, wait, aren't there always only two, a master and an apprentice?
No, those are all the spirits
of all. Who the fuck are these guys?
Those are all the spirits of all the Sith that lived before that will live in him when he's resurrected or whatever.
Oh, okay.
That's how
So Palpatine's sort of projecting his own audience of and
so that was his version of Rey's. All of our Jedi are in you, and everybody talking to her.
I think they were actually there, though, because when the things are collapsing, things are running away and getting crushed
I'm like,
by the rubble.
What the fuck is going on here?
So I don't know what exactly that was supposed to be. Maybe it was all the people that have been working on the Star Destroyers, this magical fleet that he pulled out of his ass.
Yeah.
Which it's like, if you've got a fleet of ghost Sith, what the fuck are you doing
fully
here?
crewed and some of the new designer. They got Edna Mole from the fucking Incredibles to design the new suits. No kidding.
So things like that where it's just like, wait, you're arising more questions than you're actually answering here.
Yeah. Right. There's so many questions.
What the fuck is this, please?
So many questions. Why? How? Did somebody scrape him off of the floor of that ventilation shaft before this?
Yeah, who
blew up.
who the hell Peter Pettigrew the Emperor back to life?
Yeah, exactly.
And why is he like fucking the doctor in Hellraiser 2 on this
Right,
apparatus?
right.
Yeah.
It's a great call.
Oh
We
my
should
God.
Yeah.
That's all I could think about.
I
I'm
haven't
like,
seen that movie in
dude, they
forever.
ripped off Hellraiser 2.
Oh my God. Well, technically, it's Star Wars. They're allowed to rip off everything, which they do,
Yeah,
including their own IP.
right.
Good Lord.
Just pull him off the apparatus and throw him off in the
Yeah.
side.
Right. Seriously,
I'm going
turn it
to
off.
say- Harry Potter style and grow back my nubby fingers.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, I cried more in this than any Star Wars movie I think ever. And but I cheered a lot more. And also one of the times that I cheered so hard was so bad because it was when Rey fucking the first time she does the lightning, and I'm like, Palpatine, and then like my friend's like, Chewie, and I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
She
you
just-
fucked up.
Yeah.
Just killed Chewie. So maybe this is a good transition. Andy, do you have story beats that you want to go through? Because I really want to talk about some of the high points in this and some of the low points, and I didn't prep very well. But
Go to town. No, I don't have any. I have broad beats.
yeah,
So yeah, but I'll probably hit as you talk. So if you have a point to start, let's start.
yeah. So I don't have anything really prepared, but that scene that you brought up. So I saw the movie twice. Full disclosure, I saw it the Monday. I had planned to see it the Monday after it opened with my daughter. Blank slate, clean slate. I would not see it ahead of time. And then I found myself with a couple free hours on the Saturday before that, and
You
went,
couldn't help yourself.
maybe there's a single seat in the IMAX theater that isn't horrible. And there was a really good seat, one of them available, like perfect, almost in the middle. Like, oh fuck, I gotta go. So I went and saw it. The theater was absolutely packed. People were dressed up. It was
You're
awesome.
a horrible father, Nate.
I know, I'm a terrible person. Spoiler alert, I brought her on Monday. Anyway, so saw it with that group. It was super fun. I had so many conflicted emotions through that entire movie. It basically had me on a roller coaster, but not really a fun one that you want to ride again. More like one that made you throw up, and then you're like, oh, this might get better, and then made you throw up again, and then now I have to take my daughter on this ride. I was the whole time I watched this movie, I'm thinking about how she's going to need therapy because of all the shit that goes down in this movie.
So probably good thing you saw it on your own, so
Yeah.
you were prepared to
exactly.
guide her through this.
Well, and specifically the moment you're talking about where they're having this struggle in the desert after this amazing cinematic event where Kylo Ren is in his TIE Advanced streaking through the desert floor after Rey, and Rey is running away and then does this amazing backflip and cuts the wing off. And they really shouldn't have put that in the fucking trailer.
No.
God damn it. Why didn't they save that moment? But then
that was the most comedic spaceship tumble ever.
Exactly.
Though.
Oh, and then he walks away from it like slow-mo explosion walking
With
out
his
of it.
Pantene hair.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
Exactly. But that moment when they're doing the tug-of-war of the transport, and then she could see her face, and she twists her hand, and fucking lightning shoots out. I sat up, like, edge of my seat, and my jaw hit the floor, and the theater was silent.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like, holy shit, they did not just kill Chewie. I literally said that out loud, and it took me, and then I had to sit back and just kind of catch my breath for a minute. And
I went the opposite way with it. I was banging on the seat, just going, "Go for Papa Palpatine!"
Yeah, no, I had a similar moment that you did, Nate. I'm just like, did they really just nuke fucking Chewie right here?
Yeah. It's not bad enough that Han got it in the first movie, right?
Yeah, and, and after a minute, I'm just like, well, that's a great motivator, obviously, for the group.
It's an Agent Coulson moment. Is that what you're trying to say?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
The sad thing, though, was I honestly was not shocked. Like, I was like, they just killed Chewie. Yeah. I guess that's where they're going with this.
Well, yeah, after the last movie when they kill Leia
nobody's safe. I mean, seriously.
The last movie was a fucking hit squad on Star Wars, man. Akbar's dead. Fucking Luke's gone. Like, so many characters you care about are just toast.
Oh, man.
But yeah.
The
No,
one that got me so bad, and I'm so pissed because I'm supposed to be like icicle heart strong ass, but oh my
Since
god,
when are you icicle heart?
3PO, fucking 3PO. I bawled like a bitch. Like, I'm taking one last look at my friends. I'm like,
That's my
all right. Can I tell you though that this is the most that he's done in a movie, I think, ever.
Yeah,
And it was
a great role.
It was his best arc ever in a
my
movie.
God.
Yep.
So I bawled then, and then even harder at the end when R2 walks up and he's like, when he introduces himself to R2, and
yeah.
R2 just like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
So-
oh my god.
Andy, talk about your favorite early moment, because that's kind of an early moment for me. That was the first real spike for me in that movie. But I've got something about the 3PO R2 thing that we should talk about later. And Joe, beer's a depressant. Put the beer down. Go ahead, Andy.
So my favorite early moment of the movie, well, actually the one that sort of, and I understand why it hurt or just sort of stung a little bit, was like I thought it was hard, and I understand why they wanted to keep Leia in the movie and have used the unused footage from the other movies.
Mm-hmm.
But have everybody talking about what she's doing while she's there. You know, it's like, I'm sure if she could record one line of dialogue, it'd be, I'm still here, guys. I'm sitting right here. You're talking at it like I'm here. You know, I mean, kudos on them for using that footage and for trying to make it feel like she was still part of it.
Yeah.
But that was hard. That was hard to get over. It was like, you know, it was really hard to keep it in like sort of context of that took me out of the movie a little bit. It was like them sort of saying her lines for her while she's there.
Yeah.
You know. Anyway, that was sort of one of the early moments that was like, but I really did enjoy sort of the training sequence. Rey sort of trying to connect herself.
I liked the lightsaber throw. They pulled force powers from the video games and the canon into this.
Yeah.
I kind of see more, but there was force jump, which they've already done. There was the saber throw, the healing more than once. Obviously, that was set up pretty easily with the sandworm or whatever the fuck that was. I really liked it. Sand cobra.
Oh yeah,
that was really
dude,
fun.
when she when she healed the worm.
Yeah.
For me, that was another part where it was just like, oh my god, my whole
So for anybody that's listening,
the snake
Joe has snakes and is a snake lady.
Yeah.
So that's all the feels for justice.
And the snake's gonna help her. It's like taking the thorn out of the lion's paw.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and I thought that was some brilliant sort of back and forth with the Mandalorian literally debuting that force power 3 days before the movie came out.
Was it before?
It was the episode before the Rise of Skywalker came out.
Okay.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool. Like that tie-in alone was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we can talk about that tie-ins more later because I think we're going to figure out how the Emperor came back via the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And I bet you it has something to do with Yoda. And that's why they were trying to get DNA samples from baby Yodes.
Okay.
Because they live 800, 900 years or whatever. Yeah. So maybe they've got some kind of secret
juice. The 50-year-old baby Yoda.
They got secret
juice.
Yeah. The other thing, right before this whole throwdown and that lightning attack, whatever that supposedly killed Chewie, when they're on that planet, they're having there's a celebration of the elders that happens every 42 years. And if you go back 42 years, you're in 1977. I thought that was great. That was
right, when Star Wars came out.
At a moment, yeah, for sure. And this celebration of the elders made me laugh. Like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I love that. I love that was Lando's introduction too.
Yeah. I wanted more Adelando in this movie, honestly. I did like that it was his introduction, because it's shades of Return of the Jedi. Guess what? He was in a fucking costume in Jabba's palace.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I guess go back to what works, but Jesus, guys.
yeah. Yeah. And then for me, I don't know, like Finn and Poe just really didn't seem that crucial.
No, they got done wrong in this one. It was like a Phasma-esque kind of push you to the side moment almost. They had some good banter back and forth in the beginning that was kind of forced and not really effective, but
Yeah, for me, and total fangirly bullshit, but I was like, just make them gay. For the fuck's sake. Like the whole movie, they're like basically being boyfriends.
Right.
It's
Well, I
like,
think they're talking about Poe is supposed to be bi or something like that, and I think Finn is going to be with the other stormtrooper chick.
yeah. So
I
one of the
find
things,
out.
so I've obviously the whole thing it was spoiled for me, and so one of the spoilers that I did get was like Star Wars' first LGBT moment. Holy crap! And I'm like, Finn and Poe are gonna kiss. Yes.
Hux and Kylo with a red lightsaber.
Oh no! Come on! I knew that wasn't gonna happen, but fuck
You were hoping.
Storm Pilot. Of course that's what's gonna happen. And they built it up.
Any port in a storm.
Yeah, and so this whole movie, I'm watching them basically be boyfriends. Like I said, we had the theater to ourselves, so every time I'm like, gay, 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 gay. Look, they're boyfriends.
Are we allowed to say that?
Well, yeah, because I want them to be boyfriends. Like, go on.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
And then like the LGBT moment is like two girls kissing way off in the distance
Right.
over there.
In
Right.
celebration
Yeah,
towards the end. Yeah.
Like-
right.
that was what? No, we were done wrong.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, we got one tiny kiss with Ray and Ben.
I mean,
he sacrificed his life for her and got
that's-
one tiny kiss.
That's why girls have cooties, and if you die a virgin, they kill you.
Or if you're abused and you redeem yourself, the cost is your life.
Okay, bullshit. So I'm going to call bullshit on Kylo Ren's redemption. He killed thousands of innocent people. I appreciate the fact that he came to his senses at the end of it, but I'm sorry, it didn't make all your crooked straight. Ben and the kiss, it was so stupid. I'm sorry. I did like the way they continued Rain Johnson's like force transference thing across space and time.
Yeah.
Where they're on the desert planet and he grabs the beads and then just tracks them down with that, and then she's in his quarters and the whole battle back and forth, and then the Darth Vader met like
she's in my bedroom.
Yeah,
Go!
she's in my bedroom.
Yeah. Can we call that?
What was it?
Can we call that force timing? Like face timing, but we'll call it force timing.
Force timing, nice.
Force Skyping.
Yeah, force. You can pass lightsabers.
Right.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a cool little moment though when they paid it off at the end when he's getting his ass kicked by the Knights of Ren, and then he's just like, "I have a lightsaber."
Yeah.
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 Well, I mean, it's like the scene in The Last Jedi, the throne room scene, all over again.
Yeah. So that was one of the things I really liked in The Last Jedi in general. I did like the way they did his little battle with his buddies, ostensibly.
Mm-hmm.
In this one, I kind of wish I wanted more out of the Knights of Ren, though, and I think they probably would have been in the second movie if.
This
JJ
was one
had-
thing that, like, I read the other day that I was like, okay, we'll see. So the reason that in The Last Jedi, they fought the Praetorian Guard, the red guys.
Yeah. Right.
Those were like supposed to be the Knights of Ren, but he was like, no, dude, Kylo's not going to fight his crew, his homies.
Well, yeah.
So that's why those weren't the Knights of Ren. They were, the Praetorian Guard.
Praetorian Guard.
Praetorian
Yeah.
Guard.
Yeah.
And so I was like, that makes sense. Cool. I'm done with that. Then in Rise of Skywalker, he fights his homies and gets his ass
Right.
kicked. It's like,
Yeah.
Then okay, so that just went right out the window.
They had a boy band video moment in the desert where they're all on a cliff and the helicopter's doing this big panning shot. They're all looking off into the distance.
So I told my friend while we were watching this, I'm like, I really hope they do more with the Knights of Ren than a fucking Metallica music video.
Oh my god, yeah. And
Like,
nope.
please. Nope.
Briefly kick the crap out of Kylo or Ben, but
Yeah.
Okay, so now I have to say, because I fucking love Hux, and Hux was done so wrong.
I'm the spy.
Okay, no, so I at first I was pissed because I'm like, no, don't fucking turncoat. Don't turncoat. You are the leader of the leader of the First Order. Go back to being the guy that stood on that platform and made that speech and, just shook us all to the core.
Yeah.
Well, and
Hitler.
Fuck, and but he got his ass kicked. Okay. Now it's like, okay, you're gonna be a turncoat. That's what you're gonna do because you're trying to salvage whatever you have left.
Sort of sabotage Kylo Ren.
And trying to sabotage Kylo Ren,
right.
and live. Why didn't they draw that out just a little bit more? Because literally it was, I'm the spy, I'm the mole. Killed.
Dead. Yeah.
Literally, like, 45 seconds later, dead. I'm like, why? What was the point of that?
Yeah, I don't... the whole spy arc could have been done better, and I don't think they needed to bring in the other sort of seasoned, Imperial sort of admiral there, and yeah, the make him a spy was just... I mean, again, it's sort of JJ and Rian Johnson sort of crapping on each other, saying, well, you made him sort of more evil than he was in Force Awakens, but now I'm just going to turn him to this with sort of no explanation whatsoever.
No, he was slapstick in The Last Jedi. Yeah. That was Rain that turned him into slapstick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had balls in the first movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was kind of hoping that he'd have balls in this one, which he really didn't. And he's got now, I see it as...
He has great big balls in heaven.
He got balls in Force Awakens. He fucked up. Starkiller Base got destroyed. His higher-ups knocked him down a couple pegs. So Last Jedi, he's knocked down.
Yeah, they gave the promotion to the emo guy.
Yeah.
And
this one, he's like, okay, now I've got another dude on top of me that,
Whoa.
You know what I mean? Like,
what movie did you watch? Are you sure you saw this movie?
You saw the fanfic. That was the...
Right, exactly. Good God.
Rocket.
Oh my God. We have to edit this out. But no, you know what I mean? Like, now he's got the commanding officer that's, basically just like, you're useless. Whatever. So, of course, he's going to, try to save face and like, hey, I can, be the mole and vote for the resistance, and then hopefully I'll live. I get that, but
like a better turn for Hux, and I don't know, maybe he was busy with another project and couldn't film more scenes or whatnot. But I mean, a better turn for him would have been in the end battle, and. I mean, and I don't know that we're there yet with the end battle, but I got a lot to say about the end battle. But I think Hux's turn could have been in that moment, and he could have either gone down in a blaze of glory, commanding a ship to crash into another one of Palpatine's ships, or
sabotaging the network that was allowing them to launch, kind of thing. Yeah, I agree there.
Exactly. Yeah, but again, you're looking for stuff for Finn and Poe to do,
right?
So they have to ride horses on.
I mean, were they horses or were they some other? No, I'm kidding.
I have no idea.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. In space
horses.
Space horses in space. Charge.
So. Yeah.
Oh, this movie.
Yeah.
It's very Game of Thrones season 8.
Oh,
Which-
it's not that bad.
I don't know. You know, I'm starting to
Maybe
think,
season 6.
I'm starting to think it's. I really am. Like, people have such like just staunch opinions about things. It's
Yeah.
like you can't just go and enjoy a movie anymore.
Well,
You have to have like an opinion about it, or it has to be on you're in this camp or that camp. Or
yeah.
this
Well,
team
if
or
it was
that
the
team.
GoBots movie, then nobody would have a fucking opinion. Actually, not true. There are GoBots people. If it was a brand new IP, nobody would have an opinion. It's something that's 42 years old and it's hallowed ground. It's a religion for people, and that's what happens when you piss on people's religion.
Yeah.
They get pissed off, and some people are okay with that. Some people are not, and that's just this trilogy. So obviously, the prequels were a huge fucking deal. People hated the prequels initially. Most people I know absolutely hated them.
Yeah.
And especially for Jar Jar Binks and that kind of thing. They got better as they went on. The third one's actually pretty decent. The first one you don't have to watch. It's ridiculous. The second one has some good stuff. But they've aged really well. There's a whole generation of people that I work with that grew up on those movies, not the movies that we grew up with.
Yeah.
Right.
That's their first Star Wars experience, are those movies.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know, right? And hopefully
Yeah.
they've seen them all. But this newest trilogy, I mean, obviously we're in a world that's incredibly divided at this point on several different levels. So there's going to be that natural tension anyway. But then you put something that people hold so dear to their hearts and kind of, you try to reboot it. And JJ did a great job, in my opinion, with Star Trek, trying to bring that universe back into the world. And the first movie was great. The other one's not so much. He did kind of the same thing with Star Wars, in my opinion, where even though Force Awakens was very formulaic and copied A New Hope and all that, it still made you feel like Star Wars was back, and you were. Mm-hmm. I thought it was a great recovery from the prequels, in my opinion.
I remember I got into an argument with a guy that we were talking about it, and he was older, like saw the original trilogy in the theaters, and I'm like, listen, I'm like at the time it was like I'm 35, like I didn't see Star Wars, and like the only movies I saw in the theaters were the prequels, and they were terrible. Like he was like, Force Awakens is a horrible movie, and just like poo-pooing it, and I'm like, no. Yeah. It was a great movie, and that was like one of the first like epic Star Wars movies that I got to see in theaters.
Right. Yeah, and I think
it kind of hurts my heart that you're just so analytical about it and so critical about it and picking it apart. It's like, just enjoy it. Well, it's a Star Wars movie that doesn't suck. Enjoy it.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. That's the way to put it. And I'm actually really happy that Addie is just old enough. She's seen this trilogy in theaters, the whole trilogy.
Yeah.
Even though she probably shouldn't have seen the first movie in the theater. But this is going to be her Star Wars trilogy, and as much as I don't like the second one, she really enjoyed it because it's very cinematic, and Star Wars isn't made. I mean, honestly, this is the thing that sucks when you get to a certain age. This shit isn't made for us anymore.
Yeah,
and that's
you're 100% right.
Yeah.
And that's probably where a lot of this visceral hate comes from, because it's like, well, this isn't the Star Wars that was for me before. Well, fucker, it's not made for you anymore.
Yeah,
it's made for the masses now.
Another thing to think about too is think about if the original trilogy came out now, what people would say about it. Probably a lot of shitty things, and you don't want to believe that because it's like they're sacred to me and they're perfect and they're amazing and great, and it's like, they're great and amazing and perfect to us. But if Return of the Jedi came out today, they'd be like, what the fuck are up with these stupid Ewoks? And
but again, back to my earlier point, considering the story, again, you have a singular voice with nobody else telling him, no, maybe you should do this. Right. No, maybe you should do that. Or I don't think these little Planet of Teddy Bears is going to work. Let's do something else. And that's where unfortunately where having this with Disney went wrong. There's too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Way too many cooks in the kitchen. And I think that's why Mandalorian was so successful is you have more time to breathe with, and it's even sort of short form television because they're half-hour episodes, but we got 4 hours of a great Star Wars side story,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right? That had time to develop and just, you know, and really just take its time to get to where it needed to go, right?
Yeah. And even
With
took time to get to us. Like they didn't release the whole thing.
Yep.
You know, they did.
Well, that I think that was a business decision more than.
oh, absolutely.
Well, and I think it actually worked in their favor. 'cause,
Well, of course
I mean,
it did. Yeah, everyone wanted to see Baby Yodes and the
Yep.
Mando. Yeah.
Yeah, and but I mean, and there's so much connective tissue to you know, the prequels, some of the extended universe, Clone Wars, all that stuff,
Yep.
right in there. I don't know that he created well, aside from some of the creatures that we saw on some of the planets, anything new, you know.
Right.
I mean, a lot of that stuff is callback to original trilogy Star Wars,
right. Well,
prequel Star Wars.
and to your
And-
point, go ahead. Yeah, let me finish.
No, I mean, I had one of the E-Web toys. Like, I had that gun that they used in the finale as a toy.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I totally geeked out over that. So, you know, yeah, given the time to actually develop the story, you know, and bring it to life, you know, I mean, and yeah, he had a big budget on this, but it wasn't the 400 million that JJ had to pump this out, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I think Star Wars can benefit from a smaller group of people having influence over it, you know. And we've seen that success with Mandalorian, and I think that's why this trilogy sort of failed. You know, you didn't have a clear vision. Clearly, JJ did, from where he started to where he ended it, you know, but he lost 2.5 hours in between. He literally lost the meat of his story
Right.
that could have connected everything.
Second act rather important, especially when you kill a lot of the first act off.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, I would be very interested to see like just like a storyboard or you know just a like what his story arc would have been if he
Right.
had
Yeah.
you know carte blanche to go for it.
Yeah, I agree. So a couple things too, just to go back to your point, Andy, about less cooks in the kitchen and more skilled cooks, and this actually is a more connective than you think because Jon Favreau, who was in Chef, played a cook and
God.
clearly knows how to make Star Wars. Because I know it was so bad, but I had to do it. He is. I am continuously impressed with him, and the fact that it's Favreau and Filoni. So Filoni is he's your Indiana Jones of Star Wars lore. He knows everything, has been involved for decades. He is your quality control guy and your kind of innovator. He did all the Clone Wars. He did
Yeah.
Rebels, he did all that, right? And then you have Favreau, who's the super fan and wants to do all this amazing shit, and which he gave us with Iron Man, and was able to kind of repeat the lightning in the bottle with Filoni on Mandalorian. So I think to your point, less cooks in the kitchen, and this proves that Star Wars, I think, belongs in a smaller world as opposed to the larger galaxy that they try to play in all the time.
Yeah.
Moving forward, it's those smaller stories, I think, that'll actually give us the good shit as opposed to the kind of mass-produced stuff.
Yeah.
That being said, I wanted The Mandalorian to be dark as fuck. I wanted it to be murderers, and I mean, it's pretty dark to a certain degree, but I didn't want it to be Disney dark. I wanted it to be Hellraiser dark, kind of.
Nope, you get Mando babysitting. Baby
Yeah, like
Yoda,
Ewoks
which
murdering
is
you in the night kind of
amazing.
thing.
But well, dude, the Scout Walker was terrifying. That it
Oh,
looked it looked
Yes,
like it, dude, it looked like it was sentient. Like it didn't look like there were drivers in there. Like it looked like it was some
yeah.
like dude, that was really good. Like I was glued to the television. My mouth was open during that sequence.
I agree. That whole sequence is great. I love when it just came online.
Oh,
then it's,
yeah.
like, covered with branches and shit. Oh, it was
Did,
Yeah.
did anybody else get severe like Conan vibes from the Mudhorn?
Oh yeah,
Oh, absolutely.
This is awesome.
yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
and props to Gina Carano
Oh,
and the
man.
work that she did. Like there was a post on Facebook, like in a world of Kardashians, be a Carano. It was fucking great. It had her character from The Mandalorian on it.
Yeah.
Dude, I love her. I've followed her since MMA.
Yeah.
She's, I mean, no, yeah, just her story is cool. Yeah, and I just know, yeah, she was perfect in this. I thought she was really great. I mean, it totally fit, her.
Yeah, it was cool seeing Addie's eyes light up with her kicking so much ass too. It's like,
Yeah.
yes, awesome,
Yeah.
strong ass role model.
Yeah,
Very cool.
but
So we actually skipped over when we go back. Let's bring it back to the Last Jedi. Or no, sorry, the Rise of Skywalker, the
Rise of Palpatine,
the fall of Solo. We skipped over because we were talking about. Yeah, we went. We were talking about the traitor, but we went past. That was after Rey and Kylo fight on the ruins of the Death Star, because that whole thing's happening at the same time.
Yeah,
And that was a fucking cool scene.
that was really cool.
The way they got to it was stupid as shit. The dagger. Oh my god, what a crappy MacGuffin that was. Please, how the fuck did somebody... We're going to commission a dagger that has a hidden thing in the shape of a fallen relic that happened a couple years ago. Because why? So dumb. Oh my
so
god.
hard. Yeah,
So dumb.
yeah.
But the fight on the Death Star was fucking great.
Yeah.
That was really cool. And then, I mean, obviously all the details from the battle and what happened, what, the whole moment with Han Solo, and you're not a ghost, you're a memory.
Yeah.
That was perfect, because then people weren't all like pissed off that Han Solo had a Force ghost. Like, he's not a Jedi, he can't. Technically, he's not a Jedi, so he can't.
Which, and to that point too, I gotta say, I'm glad. The very end, like, I'm a little butthurt she took my man's name with just a kiss, but.
Well, he
didn't have the Anakin Force Ghost with Han and Leia. I was stoked it was just them, because I was like, oh, please don't tell me Kylo was gonna come up behind him and throw a shoulder. Like, I'm here too.
No, the ghosts at the end were Luke and Leia.
Or yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Luke and Leia.
Right. Yeah.
I said Han and Leia.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean, like.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't see that as Rey taking Ben's name. I took it as just Rey just connecting more with that family, her knowing Luke and the interaction she has with Luke. Like, and I give JJ so much credit for the Luke Force Ghost moment on wherever the island that she was training on.
But yeah, because she ran away.
Right. Yeah, to sort of bring it back to, hey, no, this is why I treated you this way when you were here. Because
there's more respect.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
man, seriously, you could not slap your face more. But you really got to, given the time constraints that he had, you really got to give him credit for trying to tie Last Jedi into this movie at all in any way.
There was a lot to take care of in this movie, and especially I'd love to see exactly what was left on the floor, because apparently Dominic Monaghan has a role in this, and he's obviously a JJ. They've been connected forever.
That drove me nuts.
But according to him, there's a ton of shit that got cut. And like I said before, this movie was supposed to be 3 hours plus.
Yeah.
And Disney apparently made him cut it to 2:30. Which is unconscionable in my opinion. Like, how do you fucking wrap it up, box, on a goddamn Skywalker?
At that point, just make it 2 movies. Because I mean, and I've said this before. I'm so done with the 2.5, 3 hour movies.
Really?
No, just.
Oh my god! Like, what about Endgame?
No,
Endgame went by in a. I wanted more movie.
I was sitting there, and it was. What I thought I was like way into Skywalker, and I looked at my watch and I'm like, holy fuck, it's only been an hour. I have another hour and a half of this movie.
Well, that's because the pacing of the movie was off. Well, that's your fault for not pre-planning properly.
Hey, I went pee before, man. But you get what I'm saying. It's like, come on, man. If just make it 2 movies that are reasonably length, maybe I'm old and crotchety,
Well,
but
so to
an
your
hour
point,
and a half or 2.5 hours is just too fucking long without a break.
to your point, how about a 4-hour movie with an intermission at 2, or a 3-hour movie with an intermission at 90 minutes?
There you go. Or
They have that you can get your snacks and you
Or
can
just,
go
you know,
take a leak.
Let's all go to the lobby.
yeah, there you go.
Let's
And you
all
know the
go to
theaters
the
would be all about
lobby.
that because they're making more money.
Yeah, because it was
I agree.
about an hour and a half in. I'm like, I gotta pee.
In that situation,
I,
I totally agree. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I would love an intermission.
Yeah.
Or at least like some intel. Intermission, movieintermission.com. This is when you should go.
There's actually
It's like a
an app
Mr. Skin.
I have. It's an app that tells you when to pee in movies.
No shit, really?
Yeah, it's an app that's like it.
That's awesome.
33 minutes into this movie,
Yeah.
there's nothing going on.
Take a leak.
You're not gonna miss anything. Just go pee.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, if you have to pee, they'll be like you can put in the time you leave, and they'll tell you what you missed.
No way.
Yeah,
Really?
it's I think it's called
That's brilliant, man. No,
something.
that's absolutely
Wish I
brilliant.
thought of it.
I was gonna say I thought I had a decent idea right there, but apparently it's already happened.
Yeah.
Damn it. Anyway, so yeah, what are your thoughts about the battle on the Death Star and everything that happens there? Because there's a lot going on in that fight.
Well, so the rogue, I kind of like that there was a rogue stormtrooper group that has, in sense, become wildlings. You know, that, I mean, clearly, you know, not everybody died in that, and they had to make it somehow, you know. I didn't mind that. I heard through all the stories that came out that the main girl is supposed to be Lando's daughter.
Yeah, I heard that rumor also.
But then,
I didn't hear the rumor, but at the end, I was like, oh, I get it.
yeah,
It sounded like he was trying to pick up on her towards the end. Like, well,
Well,
why don't we find out?
You want
yeah,
it?
Yeah, I was just gonna say it.
I made so many Colt 45 jokes
Wait,
in this movie.
Is that actually the tagline that Colt 45 is used?
Yeah.
Always a good decision?
Yeah.
That is the
Oh,
opposite
man.
of what Colt 45 is.
right, exactly.
Never a good choice.
No,
Pretty much
Oh,
every time
shit.
Lando was on the screen, I'm all Colt 45.
That's weird. Like Colt 45.
yeah, but I mean, you got to figure too, with how suave he was in Cloud City, he probably has 30 kids across the galaxy, and
Yeah.
Oh, that he knows of.
right, yeah,
Hey-o.
exactly. Hey-o.
Hey, man, you wear the day cape, you suffer the consequences.
It's not consequences. They have flying shit and hovering cities. They can cure syphilis.
Right, exactly, yeah. But yeah, that I don't know, the MacGuffin of the Imperial GPS unit.
I like the Wayfinder, actually. I wish they had used the holocron, which is actually what it's supposed to be, apparently.
Right, yeah. But
I like that a lot better than the dagger and that bullshit. It really should have just been the Emperor saying, come find me here. And
Right.
clearly Exegol wasn't that hard to find. I mean,
Why?
well, all right. So first Kylo needed it to get there, right?
He had it.
Then Rey needed it to get there, but there was only one left because she destroyed the other one, right? Or the other one, or Kylo destroyed the other one. Anyway, and then, right, Kylo magically finds his way back, right, when he's trailing Rey.
No,
There.
she left.
She left the trail.
She left breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I must
Got
have missed
the-
that part. But then,
Wayfinder.
like, everybody else gets there. So everyone else was following her breadcrumbs as well?
Yeah, Ray left the digital trail. They were
Yeah,
showing
and
that.
they
it showed-
broadcast it. I'm assuming they
They
broadcast
broadcast
it to everybody.
the trail or whatever. Yeah,
Okay.
that is a jump though, Andy. I hear what you're saying.
Because she was in Luke's ship, and they
Yeah.
basically
We've got Red 5.
tagged Luke's ship, and then you see like the little
Waypoints.
trail.
Yeah, video game waypoints.
Yeah.
Through the-
Okay, yeah, I did like Rey picking up Luke's X-Wing.
Fuck yeah.
That
I wish
was awesome.
Ray had been the one raising that out of the water.
Yeah.
I did like the fact that Luke did it because that really put a bow on the series because that was the thing that he couldn't believe he could do when he was at the beginning.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that sequence.
When she was doing her force training, I was just like, try doing that all with Yoda on your back.
Yeah, right.
Right. No, that sequence was a whole lot of right in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was one of the things I really hated about The Last Jedi, is they didn't do something with that.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you mean the Mary Poppins? Yeah, fuck that. That's funny. So I don't know if we're at the end thing yet, Andy. Let's check this real quick. Where are we? Oh wait, should we talk about the all of the bit players that had 2 seconds? Like what's her name from the spy drama? Carrie Russell.
Oh, Carrie Russell.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Babu Frick. Let's talk some Babu Frick, man.
Babu Frick was fucking great.
Yeah.
Babu Frick and
Zori Bliss. That's what her name was.
Yeah.
the Conehead droid. I loved him.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thank
you. I like you. No, thank you.
He was forgettable.
Oh no, I love him.
I liked
because that's me. Like that little droid embodied me to a T.
I was watching
I want to hang out with you, but don't touch me.
I was watching the Izzy guys earlier, their review, and they said that's the rebel version of the mouse droid that the Imperials have that just and runs away.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I really liked so Babu Frick was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Best new character, clearly. I really liked the kind of flashbacks and I really wish they'd spent more time on the Luke training Leia post Jedi stuff.
Dude, so this should have been the first movie all along. Was the training academy and Kylo joining the dark side.
No, so I agree with that, but I'm talking about way before that. I'm talking about right after Return of the Jedi, Luke trains Leia.
Right. Yeah. No. But well, that part of it.
Way before Kylo and all that. But
right.
I wanted more of that, and apparently they used Return of the Jedi footage of Carrie Russell over Billy Lord to get that to work.
Carrie Fisher.
I'm sorry, Carrie. Yes, not Carrie Russell. But Jesus Christ, I need to stop drinking. So apparently
I love how much Billy Lord is involved in this.
Absolutely, no, 100%. Yeah.
But I definitely wanted more if we could have made that work, because the whole Leia had a lightsaber thing seemed very rushed, and you have to kind of put it together. Oh wait, so Luke trained Leia, and then instead of actually showing a bunch of things or explaining it a little bit better or having some more lore about it or something.
Yeah, it was basically just snap, snap, snap.
Yeah, well, then that was
this happened, and now we're moving on.
And that was most of this movie, and you could tell the pacing issues had to do with all the problems that the movie had, obviously.
Yeah,
getting made and getting done. But I really did like the that kind of homage with the lightsabers towards the end. We can talk about that more in order. I guess we're getting way kind of bouncing back and forth.
Yeah,
let's talk about the final showdown. I guess we're basically there. The final showdown on Exegol. Yeah, Exegol.
Smeagol.
It's a great name. Yeah, thoughts? This place is fucking weird.
Yeah, just basically the Palpatine's the Hellraiser guy. Like that's all I could think. I'm like,
yeah, he's got his whole football stadium of Sith.
Yeah.
And y'all ready for this?
So in terms of the Emperor Rey, at this point, Ben Solo stuff, that was interesting. I mean, it was good to a point. It was great that he was, and again, her sort of reveal as a Palpatine was also, it needed the whole second movie.
Yeah.
It really did. Like, who were her parents still? Like, I get that they were Palpatines, but they were they aunts and uncles? Were they, his brother? Palpatine's brother and his wife? Was it
Palpatine? Like,
no, they said that it's Palpatine's. She's Palpatine's granddaughter.
Okay, so direct descendant.
Yeah, he's Anakin's grandson, and she's Palpatine's granddaughter.
Okay, so all right, yeah, and so there's a whole
Right? No.
right, yeah, there's a whole block that we're missing there.
Grandfather, yeah. Yeah,
So,
so
yeah.
it's from the dyad and the Force.
Right.
Technically, they're related because
Okay,
the Emperor created Anakin from the midichlorians. That's canon.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Technically, they're related. So they had an incest kiss. Ew! Ew!
Ew.
Hey, wouldn't be the first time in Star Wars.
Ayo.
Wait, that's the first
Luke
movie.
and Leia.
Yeah, wait, what movie do they kiss in? Is that the first movie?
No,
Empire.
Empire,
Is it
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, as he's getting fixed.
You're right. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Incest is best. Put your brother to the test.
Whoa!
Oh, ayo.
Second twice removed.
Yeah. The other tough thing is that, and again, this just goes back to me being sort of an old man, and what I loved about episode 4 is that it was a small band of rebels, right? That took down the big bad empire, right? At that point. They magically find every fucking ship in the world to come to their aid.
Lando knows a lot of people.
Every
man.
ship Star Wars has ever seen, including stuff from the animated series.
What exactly? And so, like, I mean, come on. Not
Well, no. So I get your point, but my justification for that is they put the call out in the last movie, and it took them this long to get everybody together.
okay, but they didn't put the call out saying, "Hey, let's meet at Exegol in 3 months."
Well,
Yeah.
no, for sure. They were all waiting at Lando's like watering hole slash
Lando's
brothel.
gonna give
You know, I but it just
Lando pad.
Well, I mean, you could have let Poe know, hey guys, we're on our way.
Right.
Like,
well,
Poe
I mean,
just give up. Like,
Yeah, on
we're
your
done.
on your left moment from fucking
We're
Endgame.
fucking done. We're screwed. All of
Yeah.
a sudden, oh wait, half the galaxy's behind me. Holy
Right.
shit!
I might have made better decisions the last 30 seconds.
yeah, but I mean,
Saved.
you could have easily had Lando saying, "Hey, I got like I there's a group of us ready to go."
Yeah. I'm
You
on
know?
my way with like 800 people.
Yeah, I would seriously
Comes in
give a
with
call to Wedge, right? And Wedge has the people, you know.
Yeah, it would have been cool to phase that in. Like you get a couple ships with Lando, but it's
Yeah.
not enough. And then you get a couple more with Wedge, and then you get a couple more, and then it just starts. And it's a slow faucet as opposed to a
Yeah.
bucket.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. You have Akbar Jr. call the Mon Calamari and say, "Hey, come on, guys, we need you." You know.
Mon Calamari.
Nia Nub has some cousins. He can
Nia Nub died in this movie.
I
What
know,
the
dude.
fuck, dude? Can they stop killing off these cool ass characters? Vagina Face needs to
Well-
live.
I'm gonna cherish my Nia Nub pop now.
Apparently.
Yeah. So yeah, you know, like they didn't need to outnumber. They just needed to win.
Yeah.
And it's a little more poignant if there's a struggle there. You know, if there's like that's I don't know. That like I said,
Well,
you
that's why
want
they
to
gave the Emperor the arc lightning, like the chain lightning ability, where it's just silent and then whoa.
right. Yeah.
And world-ending lightning power and nothing crashed during that whole time.
Right.
Right.
We lost all power and nothing crashed. Like, come on, guys. At least
Yeah.
have it take out half the fleet or something. Because
But yeah,
Yeah.
no, there were definite
George-
shades of Return of the Jedi at that moment.
Yeah.
When Palpatine's talking to Rey and saying, "Oh, your friends," it's like, "Oh man, really?
for
Are we
split
Are we
second,
back here again?"
yeah,
I had such hopes for a split second that she was going to go for it and just be like, all right, I'm saving my friends. Fucking kills Palpatine, takes the throne, just goes for it. I was so hoping.
that would have been cool.
Nope.
That would have been cool. I did like the Dark Ray, Dark Side Force Cave.
Yeah, that's
Oh, I
a-
could have used like another like half an hour of that.
There is so much of this fucking movie that got spoiled by the goddamn trailers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like all the good
All
stuff.
of the best beats were in the fucking trailers.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Tease
Well,
it out.
I mean, but clearly those were the things to get us in.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but they don't need that. It's Star Wars.
Yeah,
They're gonna make $1
everybody's
billion
in already.
anyway. And if
Yeah.
they
People are
hide all
gonna
that
go in
stuff,
to hate it just to see it.
well, yeah, it's like the
Right.
Hulk reveal in Ragnarok. Why the fuck would you show that in a trailer?
Yeah.
Give me a break. Yeah, I mean, they're so worried about whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
Nice.
Thank you. That one was well done. I wasn't this ham-fisted as the other one, right? God, so bad.
Oh man.
Hi, Xander.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, it was a cool sequence. I did love seeing Lando in the Millennium Falcon again. That was cool. I loved, and then him picking up Finn at that point. Hey, no, I'm fast.
Not
Yeah.
as fast as this ship. Huh?
Right. That was great. I thought that was
Will
really
you do
good.
the Kessel Run in, youngster?
Exactly. That's funny.
So,
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that was done wrong and too quickly, but I think there's enough fan service and enough high points to really kind of tip the scales to this being good.
Yeah.
It's not great, but it's good. It's not bad, and that's,
Right.
I'm glad it kind of scales tipped, and for me at least tipped towards that direction.
yeah.
It's not what it deserved. Not even close to what this whole series and legacy of the Skywalker trilogy. I keep saying trilogy. The Skywalker saga
Yeah.
deserved. It's not what it deserved, but hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully we'll see more, or hopefully people can be okay with it.
There's always
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I think you couldn't have put it any better, Nate. Like, considering where they were and what they had to work with, this was sort of the best possible ending we could have gotten.
Like I said, I went into it stiff upper lip thinking I was going to be disappointed, and I pleasantly wasn't.
Joe, you're killing me with this stuff that you get everything spoiled. Go see the goddamn movie.
I know,
Honestly,
dude.
It didn't take away a lot of pretty
That's
much.
complete bullshit. If you had not heard any of this stuff and you saw Kylo Ren get stabbed on the ruins of the Death Star and you're like, holy shit, because you didn't know he was coming back, come on, man. You know that would have been more impactful.
Yeah.
No, I would have probably gotten ejected from the theater.
Good.
Because I would have been
That's good pod,
fucking
baby.
Right. Exactly.
crying and freaking out. And,
You motherfucker.
I mean, Jesus Christ, I had enough of a hard time knowing what was happening, having an empty theater.
You're going to go full Kill Bill with your keys in the theater because they took your Kylo away.
No! This wasn't the redemption arc we were promised. They made a martyr of him.
Oh my god, that's amazing. Yeah,
No,
so before we can't talk about the ending of this without talking about the death kiss. 'Cause, come on.
Yeah, I don't.
It's the girl. He kisses her, and then thump.
Well, she
Fucking-
dies from taking out
Yeah.
Palpatine.
Yeah, he
right?
gives her the Matrix kiss of life.
He heals
Reheals
her
her. Yeah.
because she healed him,
Yeah.
and now he knows how to do it. And
Well, or was he just passing back her life force that she gave him?
yeah, maybe. I mean, but either way, how did he know how to do it? And
so-
Right.
it's like, oh, this is a possible thing. Well, and that's
And then
that's-
she could be pregnant from that because
Oh,
as this is
oh,
life force short,
he
and
put
we
his-
get a little baby
he
dad.
put his life force into her.
Oh,
You
he
know what I'm
gave-
saying? Giggity, giggity.
He
Raylo.
gave her the deep midichlorian.
Oh no! Yeah, baby, where do you want me to put
God.
these midichlorians?
I'm just, I'm so bummed. Like we go through this
Oh,
whole
Andy's hanging
redemption
his head.
arc,
I'm
and
sorry,
we
Andy.
get the Raylo and the redemption, and then just dead.
I'm so glad he died. I didn't want
Go
I wa-
fuck yourself, Nate.
So I'm sorry. Now I'm just like ridiculously giggly.
He's Ben Solo again.
My
Dad.
first thought after this movie was over was, I can't wait for Joe to see this.
No, 100%.
Get shot.
100%. Yeah.
Kylo Ren dies. Oh my god, it was fucking brilliant. I literally, did you get the context now? Because I put it in the group chat. Like, I can't wait for Joe to see this movie.
And when I got the spoilers, I'm like, that's why they can't fucking wait. You ass. I hate you. So, and I was like, I knew I was going to have to watch Hux die. Obviously, Hux is going to die. Duh. But not Ben. Not Kylo when he redeems himself and becomes Ben Solo again. And then his mom gives him her life force. And then he gives it to Rey and dies. Oh, it's horrible.
Wait.
Ben Solo was done wrong. Screw you guys that say Rose was done wrong. Nobody cares about her. Ben Solo was done wrong.
Yeah, Rose was a throwaway character that should have died in the last movie.
Yeah. So, that was one of the things I heard is like everybody's up in arms about like Rose was screwed. And I'm like, who cares? Rose?
Who? Yeah, exactly.
Rose and Finn should have died in the last movie.
You mean that girl that kissed Finn?
Finn absolutely should have died in the last movie. It would have been a worthy fucking sacrifice.
Yep, both Rose and Finn. There you go. Out in a blaze of glory.
Yeah.
You sure I said that in our last few chats?
No, we absolutely did.
Yeah.
I believe we all agreed on it.
That was a unanimous decision.
Yeah.
So now that we've gone through this exercise, sorry, I'm in the other room. Now that we've gone through this exercise, should we talk about our scores again? Are we done talking about?
You know what? No, I mean we can. I'm still sort of at a 6. You know, you
gave The Last Jedi a higher score.
But I was newer off that. If I had to do it today, if I had to redo it today, it would get a lot lower score.
So what would you give The Last Jedi then if you're giving Rise of Skywalker a 6?
Last Jedi gets a 4.
Whoa, my man!
Absolutely.
I love
100%. Yeah. So.
Wow. That's
yeah.
what I'm talking about.
No, that was because I rewatched it the night before we saw Rise of Skywalker just to see it again, and the one redeeming sort of element of that movie was the Holdo maneuver, as they call it now,
right?
The lightspeed jump into the fleet.
Yeah. Did you notice that they did that at the end of the movie?
Yeah.
Somebody did that off of Endor or something like that to take out a bunch of ships.
Right. Yeah.
That was super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting to see. My cousin commented on this. Janice had some things to say about this, where he's like, well, okay, the Holdo maneuver is cool and everything, but if that works, then you could take out a Death Star with an X-Wing. So what does that do to this kind of military maneuver moving forward? And I said, dude, okay, I get what you're saying. This is Star Wars.
Right.
Suspend physics, especially in The Last Jedi, because they had arcing lasers in space.
Right. Yeah.
So let's just, it was cool and very cinematic and was the best moment of that movie. So
yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totes.
Totes.
Toast my goats.
Did we lose Joe?
We missed a couple good moments though. So more recently towards the end, when Maz Kanata gives Chewie Han's medal from A New Hope. That moment, it might have been cheesy for some people, but it took me a minute because it was like, wait, where the fuck is this? How many of these medals? Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Because that was Leia had the medal after Han died, and then they're giving it to Chewie.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah.
I love that moment. Yeah, that's all you got for that one, Eddie?
I know. Well, you know what? No, it was really good. I like that moment. I don't know that it. I mean, it was good. I don't know that it needed to be there.
It needed to be there. Chewie should have got a fucking medal in the first movie.
Oh, it's a
Well,
hug.
so
Why didn't the dog get a medal?
right,
Space
but,
medal.
yeah,
Leia hugs Rey.
Yeah, right.
Doesn't
No,
even give
that's
Chewie
a
hug
great
when
point.
Han dies. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Well, in that
Yeah.
part when Chewie finds out that Leia's dead,
yeah,
in his like, to the
No,
his
and
Vader
looking-
moment to the cloud. But that, I mean, they did a good job with that. You could tell, kind of angsty. It was some people thought it was very heavy-handed and stupid, but I mean, how else are you going to react?
Yeah.
Like, that's
Right.
the last person that he knew from that whole
Yeah.
generation.
Yeah.
That's like the last member of your family just died.
It's like all I have
Right.
now, all I have left is Lando. I guess I got to go slum it with Lando.
Yeah.
right,
Rey.
Well, right, but I mean from the original
Yeah.
crew. Yeah.
right, yeah.
I covered for you while you were gone.
Oh, thank you.
Anything else? She was in the can.
Now we know.
Wicked, yes.
No,
Yeah.
I do gotta say one thing, and
We're gonna have to call it a Hux from now on.
Oh.
You're taking a Hux?
Oh.
Aw.
That's number 2.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh.
I gotta take a Hux with
Too
Jack.
soon. Okay, I'm still in mourning.
I'm about
My
to.
Kylux dreams have been just decimated.
Oof. Brutal.
Both my boys are gone. But I gotta say one thing that the one thing that took me out of this movie every fucking time was freaking Dominic Monaghan. Every time I'm like, I just wanted to yell, "Not Penny's boat! Get out of this movie! Go back to being Mary
Well, we
or Charlie."
it's
Jesus.
kind of our fault that we subjected ourselves to Lost for as long as we did, because that season went.
And like
Yeah.
for me, it's just
That's
like,
serious.
why? Like
Well, he's a JJ's boy. That's a lot of this was a bunch of
his
cameos.
scenes were pointless, and it just made me just like, go away,
Well, apparently,
go back to Lost.
apparently he's supposed to be a code breaker, and that's how they get all this information is from him. But they cut a bunch of scenes out.
Right, yeah. So he became
There
a high
we go.
supporting actor, yeah.
Which is why he's the one that said there's so much more to this movie that people don't know about.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're talking about a director's cut in the theater, which would really piss me off. Like, don't do that. Put it as
No, absolutely.
Blu-ray or the 4K disc or something.
Well, like I've always said, like just have the extended version DVD, like they did for Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Like Lord of the Rings did it right.
Hell yeah. No, that's a great point. And they really,
Yeah.
and I believe there's a ton of footage from all these movies. That they
Yeah,
do with
just have a decent run time
add a
movie.
half hour to each one.
and then just release the extended version DVD. Put it out in theaters so people like Ma can sit and watch it for, forever.
I'll allow it. It's a great idea.
Yeah.
Ma and Andy can sit through how many hours of Lord of the Rings?
God, I can't remember. I still can't believe we did that.
I can't believe we did that.
Yeah.
Oh, Andy, side note, what's your neighbor's name that runs the D&D stuff?
Austin Dickinson.
So there's, Humble Bundle, right?
Yeah.
So they have a Humble Bundle thing right now that has all of the Lord of the Rings supplements for D&D 5e for $15, and it's like 8 or 9 books on PDF.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I put it on a bunch of things and tag people, but let them know because I think it expires.
Okay. I will. You got it. Yeah.
That's the Uber geek creeping through. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's all good. Yeah. Totally off topic, but we there's this lady here that does these really cool nerdy bath bombs. Like she'll do Pokeball bath bombs and have little Pokemon toys in there, and then she does like.
Oh, like what the hell's a nerdy bath bomb? Hang on.
Yeah, but no, she does like Spider-Man, she does Wolverine, and they're like perfect molds and they're painted really great and everything.
Really?
But yeah,
Go on.
so she was giving out she's giving out a bunch of her stock because they're about to expire. So we went over to her house tonight, and her and her husband are like big D&D nerds. He has a wall of board games in his man cave. 2 of the $300 Titan office chairs.
No shit.
Yeah. So no, it was just it was nice to go someplace and be among one of us.
Yeah.
Like-minded folk.
Yes. Right. So anyway, I guess we've expired the Rise of Skywalker talk.
Yeah, I think it's probably a good time to wrap
That's
this.
pretty much where it is. But Yeah, final thoughts? Anybody? Smoke them if you got them.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
shit. I wasn't thinking about it until you said that.
Just
I think it's in a better place than it was after the last movie.
yes.
I think it's in a better place for the next series that they want to jump off to. I would be shocked if Daisy Ridley doesn't come back with some other stuff about her training the next group of Jedi, which, from what I heard, might be those Stormtrooper people. And that's why they were able to break the training just like Finn was, because Finn is also Force sensitive, which is what he wanted to tell Rey. Not that he
Right.
loved her, that he knows about the Force or felt the Force, which is why he knew when she died.
Okay.
And so what the theory is that whole group on that planet where the Death Star crashed, they might be the next group that Rey trains.
Okay. All right.
Some random internet rumor that I
So
heard.
that actually makes sense and makes it a little bit better, because that was another thing I was like every time Finn had the moment of I feel something, I'm like, you're not Force sensitive. Why are you dying? Shut up.
Yeah.
He was able to wield the lightsaber, and that's.
But so
Anybody can pick up a lightsaber.
I just assumed he was going to tell Rey that he loves her.
Dude, lightsabers are not Thor's hammer, all right? They are... Anybody can pick one up and turn one on.
Yes, I agree. But if I gave you one and told you to fight somebody else that was trained with a lightsaber, you'd cut your arm off before you were able to parry anything.
100%. But I'm just saying that anybody could do it.
Anybody could turn one on. I agree.
Yes.
Use one, no.
Well, I mean, if you know how to use a sword, you know how to use a lightsaber, and the same thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of sword training going on with the Stormtroopers.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Yeah, exactly. If it starts with a W, must be water.
Yeah.
Oh my god! So
This is hyperbole even further.
the best parts of The Mandalorian was when they made the Stormtrooper joke.
Oh yeah,
the Ben Burr or Bill Burr. He's like,
yeah.
I was a Stormtrooper, asshole.
Yeah, then they can.
Oh no, dude! The sequence with Sudeikis and Paul on the speeder bikes.
Oh, it was fucking brilliant.
Oh my
Dude,
god.
taking the shots at the can and then shaking the gun and everything. It's just,
Dude, okay, so we're gonna wrap this up, guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
Waititi fucking nailed episode 8.
Oh,
Back to
100%.
that episode, it absolutely delivered on every level. I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I thought that was great.
I can't wait. I mean, his cred has gone up. Obviously,
Big time. 100% since Thor.
Yeah, I mean, What We Do in the Shadows, and then
Oh yeah.
Ragnarok, and then references there, and then he keeps going. And I can't wait to see what else he does. The guy is magic.
Yeah.
A nanny droid anytime.
Right?
Yeah.
I can tell by your tone and your voice that.
Yeah.
We should
All
have
right.
a separate. We'll do a separate pod on the Mando.
Absolutely. No, I have so much to say on that note anyway.
Alrighty.
All right, guys.
Wrap
Well,
it up,
good pod. Great pod. What are your thoughts on the Rise of Skywalker? What do you guys think? Do you feel as we did, or are you different? Let us know. And once again, we are the Roman Regret Podcast. We will we'll catch you on the next round.
Happy New Year.
It is known.
It is the way.
It is the way. Damn it.
We have spoken.
We have spoken.
That's
That's what I was going
That's
for.
how we end the podcast. You
We
guys,
have spoken.
finally, Andy. How long has it taken?
2
We have
years.
spoken.
We have spoken.
Oh, that's amazing.
Fucking A. Yes.
F&A Cotton. Strategy.